These classics won't drive themselves back from the grave, but for under $3,000, they're begging for a second chance. From rust-bitten Camaros to barn-stored Buicks, are you ready to save a legend? 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Berlinetta, $2,950, Senoia, Georgia. Now here's a 1979 Camaro Berlinetta that's already halfway into becoming a backyard revival story. The exterior is in decent shape, with some rust creeping into the rear quarters, and the floor pans have been replaced, though they're only screwed in for now, so you'll need to weld them down to make it right. The front and rear subframes are solid, which is a huge plus, and under the hood, it's running, but there's a knock in the engine. Transmission still shifts fine, and you've got brakes just enough to move it around the driveway. It also comes with a full set of Chevy rally wheels, and the glass all around is intact. This one sold with just a bill of sale and registration, but for a real Camaro fan, it's a doable project with big potential. 1973 Ford Gran Torino, $3,000 OBO, Arena, Wisconsin. This 1973 Gran Torino is a two-owner car with a 302 cubic inch V8, and it's got just the right mix of survivor vibes and project car needs. It starts, runs, drives, and kinda stops, which is to say the brakes need attention. It's already been upgraded with a Victor Jr. intake, Holley carb, new fuel pump, alternator, starter, and kickdown cable. But it still needs some TLC before it's ready for the road. The rust is mostly in the rear quarters, and there's some front-end damage on the fender and headlight area. Despite all that, the frame and floor pans are still solid. Plus, the seller has the original documentation and plates. A really cool base for a muscle-era street machine. 1965 Pontiac Catalina Ventura, $3,000 OBO, Cresco, Iowa. Here's a rare bird. This '65 Pontiac Ventura sat untouched in a shed for years. It's a 389 V8 car with a 3-speed manual, but the engine is currently seized. The seller's already poured mystery oil into the cylinders and is hoping to break it free soon. There's no title on this one, so it's best suited for parts or someone with the skill and patience to get it back on the road. The body looks fairly solid, and being a Catalina Ventura model, it's got the trim and classic lines to make it a standout when done right. 1962 Ford Thunderbird, $2,500 OBO, Trinity, North Carolina. This 1962 Thunderbird project is midway through the resurrection process. It already has a new driver's side quarter panel installed and comes with lower patch panels, a new battery tray, and a solid trunk lid. Under the hood, there's a 390 truck motor that cranks and runs, and the car does move under its own power, but the brakes need to be gone through. Parts for that are included. Body-wise, it still needs some metalwork in the trunk, battery tray, and rear wheel tub. It rolls on 15-inch Lincoln wheels, and the NC title is clean and ready. Not a desperation sale, just one too many projects in the garage. 1974 Dodge Dart, $2,850, Queens, New York. This 1974 Dodge Dart is one of those classic New York beaters with charm. It runs, it's got a title, and it even drives, but the seller admits it needs work. There's rust, there are quirks, and obviously it's not a turnkey cruiser. But with under 80K miles and a body that's still recognizable, this one's a great starting point for a rat rod, street sleeper, or just a fun local project. It's currently located in Queens, so be ready to haul it out of the city. 1965 Ford Mustang Coupe, $3,000, Ronkonkoma, New York. This '65 Mustang is rough, but it's loaded with valuable V8 donor parts. It has a running 289 engine with long tube headers, an aluminum intake, Holley carb, and a freshly rebuilt C4 automatic transmission. The gas tank, radiator, front fenders, grille, and bumpers are all there and in good condition. It's also got full V8 suspension components, 5-lug front spindles, and an 8-inch rear end, and it's rolling on 17-inch torque thrust wheels. The wiring harness is all new, and the glass is clean. No seats, no hood, and no title. But if you need parts for a resto or V8 swap, this is a solid deal. Cash only.
Seven, 1972 Ford LTD Coupe, $2,500, Smithfield, Rhode Island. This 72 LTD Coupe is packing a 400 big block under the hood and shows just 70,000 miles on the clock. It's had some recent work, new carb, new distributor, plugs and wires, and it's rolling on 4 matching like-new tires. That said, it's still very much a project. The engine idles rough and the seller suspects a valve might be stuck open. Plus, there's frame rot just in front of the rear wheel on the driver's side. It's fixable, but it'll need welding. Comes with a previous Rhode Island registration and a bill of sale. This one's not for the faint of heart, but for $2,500, there's a lot to work with here if you're up for the challenge. Eight, 1965 Pontiac Catalina, $1,600, Jamestown, Tennessee. Next up, we've got a 1965 Pontiac Catalina in full-on barn find condition. It's said to have 69,000 miles on it, but the seller hasn't even had time to try and fire it up. The front floor pans are in bad shape, and there's no word on the state of the motor. It might run, it might not. But hey, it's a full-size 60s Pontiac with presence and potential. It'll need metal work and probably a full mechanical overhaul. But at $1,600, this one's an old-school cruiser just waiting for a second life. Nine, 1967 Buick LeSabre Custom, $1,000, Covington, Georgia. Here's a parts car that still has plenty to offer. This 1967 Buick LeSabre Custom has no engine, but the transmission is still in the car. The seller's throwing in a set of fresh 350 Buick heads in the original block, too. The body panels, like the doors, trunk, hood, and bumpers, are all usable, and the windshield, front seat, and dash are intact. For someone working on a LeSabre build or needing parts for another Buick project, this one could be a budget-friendly goldmine. Ten, 1972 Chevrolet Nova Long Bed, not an SS, $3,000 OBO, Peculiar, Missouri. Despite the SS label in the listing, this isn't a super sport, but what it is a complete 72 Chevy Nova project with a 350 Jasper engine and a TH350 automatic transmission. It last ran well enough to drive onto a trailer, but it's been sitting for years. The seller started a restoration and bagged and labeled a bunch of parts, which come with the car. The frame on the rear driver's side needs to be pulled straight, and the body is seeing better days, though a few panels are decent, and some could be saved with old-school bodywork. This was taken as collateral for a loan, and now it just needs a new home. It's a good base if you want a full-scale Nova rebuild. $11, 1979 Chevrolet Nova, $1,800, Burlington, North Carolina. Rounding it out is this 1979 Chevy Nova, a rolling shell with no motor or transmission, but the body's in great shape for its age. It's straight, clean, and solid. Perfect if you've already got a small block sitting in your garage or want to build something wild from scratch. The seller's clearing out space for other projects, so this one's got to go fast. If you've got the parts and the time, this is a blank canvas with classic GM bones. That wraps up this round of Project Ready Classics. Whether you're into Rust Belt revivals, muscle-era sedans, or budget Camaros with potential, there's something in here that could spark your next big garage build. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about which car you'd tackle first.